So before this video starts, I just wanted to set some ground rules for stuff you can sort of expect from not just this video but like the whole channel. So I went over this in my first video, and I think these rules are pretty important for you to just follow. So let's just do them right now. Just get the rules over with before the video even starts. So the first thing is that a lot of you guys probably saw the title, and if you're like a political leftist or you're a liberal, then you probably saw it and you probably started to freak out. You're watching the video, and let me just tell you, you're on the right track, man. You are already annoyed. You're already mad. So that is already pretty good for YouTube views. So the first rule I'd like to mention is that if you at any point in this video get mad or you get annoyed or you get offended, you are not allowed to click off the video. You need to keep watching the video because if you don't hear me out, you are going against your own political beliefs of, acceptance. And I went all over it in this video right here that's on screen, and it's also linked in the description if you want to that. It'll kind of give an explanation to my channel and things like that. And the second rule is don't take anything I say in this video way too seriously because it's just my opinion and it's just a video on the internet, and if you take that seriously, well then you're just kind of stupid, and that you need to, learn how to not take things so seriously all the time. So yeah, those are the ground rules for the video, and now, the actual, topic that I intended for this video can actually commence, if you will. All right, so I came to a realization about I don't really know how when. I think it was pretty much last night, and I was thinking about memories I had about school and my experiences of being in school, and I just came to a realization that I never really thought of before, and that some things that are a thing that probably you guys no one thinks of this, but whether you like it or not, it has an effect on everyone. And that is, I was thinking about it, and all of my, back in, what was it, back when I was in elementary school, which was around, the 2010, late 2000, mid to late 2010s, when I was in elementary school, when this whole, woke thing where it all kind of began. And back then it was, just a few key people. It wasn't really the masses. And now, the main difference that I see in classrooms are all these pride flags and these hate-free zone signs. And it's why did this even happen? There was nothing wrong with what we had in the classroom before. There's nothing wrong with just not having the pride flags in the classrooms. It's just weird. And it's you're in a classroom and the teacher's talking about math. And then you look to the right and then you see just a pride flag in the corner. I'm like, what does that have to do with math? Why is this here? It just serves no purpose. It's just there so that the teacher can feel good about themselves or itself, because I'm gonna talk about that in a later video. The teacher can feel good about itself because it's oh well, I'm showing that I support the gay rights and stuff, and it's no one cares. No one cares that you support gay rights. You are a teacher, and your job as a teacher should just purely to be educating students, and not, it's not a place for you to talk about your political beliefs. It's not a place for you to try to push those beliefs on children. As a math teacher, it could go for any teacher. Your job is to teach math and to make students understand math. It's not to do anything else. It's not to push your political agenda on impressionable young kids. And it's just really disgusting because there's that's mostly what you see in classrooms now. In half of the classrooms at my school, there's some sort of pride flag representation in there, and it's why is that even here? Who decided to put that up? Who decided that was a good idea? It is not relevant to anything that school should be talking about. It's just so ridiculous, and it's really sad, honestly, because I mean, as a person in the Gen Z generation, I grew up in an era where this stuff wasn't really that much apparent. There wasn't a lot of woke stuff going on back when I was like really really young, like 8 years old. But now it's like all people talk about, and if you go against that, then say goodbye to college, say goodbye to employment, any friends, no more relationships. It's all over. So yeah, and this thing is really bad to just like push your political and like beliefs on children, and it's also just inappropriate to be showing off things like sexuality, which is an adult topic, believe it or not, on young kids. I mean, it's just like teaching a bunch of young kids about like how to have sex with the opposite gender. I mean, it's like giving a bunch of people sexual education at like the age of 7, which is, I don't know how you could argue that's a good thing. Because it's like weird, because then these kids are gonna come home and they're gonna ask like, what are these flags in the classrooms? Or they're gonna ask inside the classroom, and it's just gonna be like, and the teacher's gonna have to explain it some way, but the kid shouldn't even know about that. It's an adult topic, whether you like to admit that or not. Sexuality is an adult topic, and it should not just be flung around where young impressionable kids are concerned. They should just be learning essential stuff from school, which is what school was originally teaching people. Like when I was in elementary school, they were not talking about sexuality. There was literally zero discussion about it, and everybody turned out fine. We all just focused on what was actually important, which was not anything to do with sexuality or being inclusive or anything like that. And but now, you have kids in elementary schools like reading all of these woke propaganda books about like, being a feminist or being, you know, transgender, and it's just completely inappropriate to discuss topics like that in a school setting on young kids. And I guess you can kind of have it in high schools because people kind of start to figure out their sexuality, but even then it's inappropriate because it doesn't have anything to do with what you're actually teaching them. It's just there so that you can feel like a good person because you have a piece of fabric on your wall. That the whole situation with just having that pride flag is so stupid. Just having a flag in your room does not make you a good person. It doesn't make you supportive. And it's just like, wow, yeah, because you have a piece of fabric that has certain colors on it in your room. That means you're on our side. That means you're not a bigot. And it's just like the saddest thing about the modern day, schools is that they just try to push all of these, different ideological ideas on the kids when really school should be about how kids can form their own ideologies and their own beliefs based on factual and logical information instead of just believing whatever adults say. And you can say that this doesn't, affect children, ideologically, or that doesn't, affect them and make them all woke, but it actually does because especially elementary school kids, they're so impressionable. Like think back to when you were in elementary school, and just think about like all the stupid stuff you believed. Like we all believed Santa Claus was real. So you think the same people who still think Santa is real should like try to learn about all this like adult topic? It's just so inappropriate. It's horrible that they're just pushing all of these ideas on kids when they're just not ready for it. Schools should at no point teach about, sexuality unless I mean, I guess it makes sense to talk about it when you're doing, puberty education, but that doesn't even happen until, maybe late element, maybe, no. The actual sexual part of that does not actually happen until, you're in like ninth to 10th grade. I mean, you really don't learn about it that early on, which is a good thing. You shouldn't learn about sex when you're 7 years old because you have no idea how to navigate the world yet. But that same thing should apply for like having all these pride flags in the classrooms. It's like it's just so it's inappropriate, it's unrelated, and it's unnecessary. And it's stupid because the whole idea of, of of like people having pride flags is stupid, because just because you have a piece of fabric hanging in your room, that doesn't make you a good or bad person. It doesn't make you supportive of one idea or not supportive of another. It's just dumb. It's like it's just a way for people to say, "Hey guys, look, I care about political issues, and I like to take out my political stress and I like to share my political beliefs on impressionable children to make them believe exactly what I believe, because this is really the right method of thinking, and this is what we should be teaching kids in schools." That is literally what the whole point of it is, and it's so stupid, because school should not be about, adults pushing their political ideologies on kids. It should just be about, hold on, I need to get out of here. I'm gonna die soon. It should just be about, it should just be about kids learning what they need to know so that they can form their own opinions. Not so you can mold them into whoever you want, ideologically. It's just really, really sad, and I hope there's a change soon, but there probably won't be. I mean, every day we see new kinds of like words that are now being like said as slurs, and soon like everybody's gonna be offensive one day, and all of that. I'm gonna die. Alright, I need to actually focus. Yep, I did. Okay. Well, yeah, that's just what I wanted to, talk about for now. But, yeah. So that is the main topic of today's video. And if you made it through to the end without clicking off, you're still with us. You might still survive, the next generation. You are a lot stronger than most people in this woke era, where they just look at the title, or they look at the thumbnail, and they just assume that you're radical right, or you're radical Republican, and they just dismiss you. So I really appreciate you for making it this far. I don't really care if you agree with me or not. Just it's important to always listen to other people's arguments, so that you can form your own opinion. All right. That's all I really wanted to say for now. Just another standard video, and my next, I'll post daily on this channel. I will, and yeah. See ya.